What up? Welcome back to It's Not a Podcast, It's Just My Thoughts with Rob Markman. I'm back, second episode of the day, because Drake and Conductor Williams had something that leaked online. All right, shout out to Conductor Williams today. There was a preview of a freestyle that he did with Drake that was posted, but then taken down. Not quite sure why it was taken down. Anything here is just speculation, but maybe UMG didn't all the way clear it. I don't know. But it's floating now. It's on the internet now, so you can't stop a leak. But Conductor dropped a preview of Drake rapping over one of his productions. The title is said to be Fighting Irish. Freestyle. So freestyle Fighting Irish. So you think about well, we'll get to that in a second, right? But I want to shout out Conductor, right? Because Conductor's been doing amazing. Conductor, We Have a Problem 3 is out. It's been out since Halloween. Features Domo Genesis, Rome Streets, Elzai, Leon Thomas, Bishop Naru. He dropped it through DistroKid independently. The way with all his content that he's been promoting this project has been really, really dope. So shout out to Conductor Williams. And he's been producing for Drake, J. Cole, Tyler the Creator, Westside Gunn, Matt Hami. He did the Jid 30 freestyle, something with Wale. He did something with Win. He's really been working for quite some time now. And, he did 8 a.m. in Charlotte with Drake. So, I think where Drake is now and post-battle, the thing, at least for me as a fan, that made me excited about Drake and made me a Drake fan was the way he's able to spill his emotion on a record, where he's able to just rap, where he's able to just give us those bars, but really a peek into what he's feeling. And so this feels like that, right? So today we get this Drake video. Looks like Drake is reading the lyrics. Looks like he's working the rhyme out or auditioning the rhyme. I don't know, but when I write, before I go into the booth and I'm in the studio, I'm reading it to the engineer. I'm just getting the rhyme right. I'm familiarizing myself with it before I start to record it, run it over a few times. I'm internalizing it so I get real comfortable. So when I go in the booth, I can lay it down, just getting warmed up. This is what that feels like to me. This is what it seems like what was going on. Now, when this video was happening, I don't know at the time if Drake is like, okay, yeah, this is going to hit the internet and this is going to be out. They might just be filming the film, and then, you kind of figure the rest out. It'll be interesting to know if we get a real version of this. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But then again, with clearance issues, like I said, Conductor Williams is independent. Drake is on UMG, and then there's this whole thing going on with UMG right now and Drake, this petition, this pre-lawsuit motion. So, I don't know if they're clearing, Drake material now, and maybe that's why I was pulled down. Do we get it on DSPs? I really don't know. Also looks like, Drake either has some cornrows or some straight back parts in his hair. So it might be a little old, but clearly post-Kendrick battle, as he's alluding to it. He sounds, and I've seen people commenting, he sounds emotional, he sounds exhausted, he sounds let down, he sounds human. But also, before we start analyzing that, this isn't the recorded version. You know what I'm saying? It could be 4:00 in the morning and he's running this rhyme down for whoever's in the room with him, and that's what it is. We don't know if when he did it, if he intended for everybody to see it, but obviously at some point I don't think Conductor would have put it up if Drake wasn't cool with people seeing it. But I wouldn't read too much into the tone, though the tone that he is spitting it sounds a lot like his recorded tone, except for a couple of things that I heard, again, where he was just working it out. So, I wouldn't read too much into the emotion, but sure, you know what I'm saying? So he starts off, right? The summer is over, I missed it, Barrel was smoking, I kissed it, Ferris showed us the renders for Texas is unrealistic, cut him the check because I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. I'm assuming T. Ferris, Megan Thee Stallion's T. Ferris, just when I hear Texas and Ferris, that's who I think. I'm not quite sure their relationship, but maybe that. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know that the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business. A couple of things here. First, the first reference to the battle happens right here. I'm assuming fell in love with the gimmicks was a reference, obviously, to the Kendrick Lamar battle and Kendrick winning and the public championing that, right? Reducing Kendrick's win and his records and what he did in his battle, just gimmicks. I don't agree with it. It was great rapping. It was great records. It was great strategy. It was a hell of a battle. But if I'm on Drake's side, I get it. Like you have to justify it in some way, right? I'm not gonna sit here and argue about Drake says his gimmicks to him, that's how you kind of got to justify it. Fine. He kind of said the same thing after losing the battle to Pusha T. He somehow tried to like cheapen the win. With what Pusha said about 40 and the Sun, and he kind of questioned like, oh, is that really hip hop? Where's the line? This and that. He tried to cheapen the win, but whatever, man. That's his perspective. That's how he may have to set it up in his mind to be able to cope and move on, right? So all good. He's giving us his thoughts. These are his thoughts. Even my brothers got tickets. I don't know for sure. I have no way of knowing, but again, it's called Fighting Irish, right? Who did Bron play for in high school? He played for the Irish. I think this is about LeBron. Maybe alluding to a few of his friends, but I think he's envisioning Bron when he raps this. He's seeing Bron at the pop out. He's seeing Bron enjoy this beef, as we all did, as rap fans, as we all did. So he's going through his feelings, addressing things. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. I feel like he's talking about Bron, and especially if the confirmed title is the Fighting Irish freestyle, as it is on Genius, and and not Genius isn't always right. Shout out to team at Genius, but it tracks. It tracks. So he's just going through his feelings. This is the stuff that made us fall in love with Drake. Whether I agree with his perspective or not, it's his innermost feelings. It's also important to note, just for the MC part of this, is he's keeping the same rhyme scheme throughout. You know what I'm saying? Missed it, kissed it, unrealistic, budgets and limits, gimmicks, tickets, every minute, wasn't just business. Somewhat suspicious, run up the digits, guzzle of Guinness. Like, that shit is dope. Fuck all that. That shit is dope as an MC, and I've written a verse or two like that, and this is more than the 16. I've written a 16 or two like that. It is dope as an MC when you could keep that same rhyme scheme up, but the rhyme makes sense every way. You're telling a linear story. You're telling a story. You're not rhyming words just to rhyme words. The story is the story, and then each line throughout the whole thing for almost 3 minutes happens to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Like missed it, kissed it, unrealistic, budgets and limits, wasn't just business, somewhat suspicious, guzzle of Guinness, color is different. Like, that's some MC shit, man. So super dope on the rhyme scheme for sure. So he says, analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious, since it was never happy for me when I run up the digits, or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness, or when I get my 5th Maybach because the color is different. The breaking world records and the guzzle of Guinness is dope because the Guinness Book of World Records, guzzle of Guinness, the beer, just some dope wordplay. Look, man, the whole thing is woe is me. Is basically him claiming he doesn't get the same praise, or at least he doesn't feel the same praise. I think he does. Look, man, when he was breaking that Michael Jackson record, everybody was reporting on it. But look, Drake's been winning for so long. Probably doesn't even feel like winning to him. When he gets the praise, he probably doesn't even feel it because you start to become desensitized to it. And on the flip side, for us, me and the media, the public, the fans, people on social media, probably don't praise the wins as much at the same time, because it feels like, oh, that's Drake, he's supposed to win. Like, you get used to him winning. So the praise might not be, there's definitely praise. Praise might not be as loud, and also, but he doesn't feel it anymore, is desensitized. And Drake has said this before. He's talked a lot about how he doesn't feel like he gets the love he deserves. And I mean, the guy has gotten plenty of love for 15 years. But again, I think you become desensitized to it. And is he taking accountability in this record? No, but I didn't expect him to. But, I just think, look, man, with this L, it puts him in a unique position, right? And I think, I know I am, but I think all of us are like, okay, where's he at now? Mentally, where's he at now? What's next for this guy? This is the guy who's been running the game for so long. What comes next? Now this is a feeling. This is a different feeling that he has to contend with for somebody who's been winning for so long. So he's giving us his feelings. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with them or not, this is his perspective. And again, that's what we love with him for. So he says, remember we traded watches. I gave you the Arabic dial. You gave me the numbered edition. You wouldn't even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure, convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. I don't know if him and Bron traded watches. They could have. I know him and Cole. I know he gave Cole a watch. I don't know if Cole gave him a watch, so I don't know if this is about Cole, but I also would imagine that Drake throughout his day has gifted a bunch of watches, and has been gifted watches. So, while this could be about Bron, I think there's multiple people who kind of are referenced here. You know what I'm saying? Show me how different we are. There's lessons in juxtaposition. I guess now you boys got to abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders. I gave it to Hamptons. It comes with the distance. Figured we was always going to be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken. The loyalty wasn't given. Possibly a reference to Michael Rubin's all-white party in the Hamptons. On the July 4th party, Drake was there. Who else was there? Meek was there. Bryson Tiller was there. Yo Gotti was there. French Montana was there. Meg was there. Glorilla was there. Lil Wayne was there. Quavo was there. Lil Baby. Travis Scott was there. Bron wasn't there. I don't believe Bron was there. So again, I don't think that particular line is about Bron, but it could also have been that maybe they were in the Hamptons some other time together or whatever. But Cold Shoulders, I gave in the Hamptons. It comes with the distance. But from all the guests that I see at the Michael Rubin party, none of them really seem to fit. Possibly Travis, because remember that Travis was at the Rolling Loud concert egging Future and Metro on so they could play Like That before we even really knew what it was. We knew that Travis knew what it was. Could be that. Could be something else. I don't know. And then there's Crying the Blues for You, saying it wasn't malicious, talking about we family. Well, I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever got to tarnish your public image, or that brother talk as if we really did discover a sibling. I don't know. Might be at Cole after Port Antonio. Who else? DeMar DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? DeMar DeRozan, they had a close relationship, and obviously we saw Drake staring him down like he was Birdie and above the rim, like he was Pocking above the rim. I don't know. Maybe I got to sit with it more time to tell. Y'all might have better ideas than me. I'm open to hearing all of that. It may be Cole, but I don't know if there's like enough here to like definitively say, okay, this, and peg this to J. Cole, right? Crazy choice of words, but pin this on J. Cole. 6 Degrees, my memory retrieved our humble beginnings. He was one in trouble, grabbed the shovel and dug up some ditches, covered my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. It wasn't me. That was a body double, and we done dozens of switches. That's cool. I get I didn't love this body double line, but I get it. He's saying, because he definitely took the L. And I think he's saying, oh, you thought I was dead. You thought you put me in the grave. I'm not dead. That was a body double. I'm not dead. I'm still alive. There's more life here. I think that's what he's saying here. That was a body double, and we got dozens of switches. This done tried to light up the front gate, but it wasn't for Christmas. A reference to his to the embassy, to his security guard, to get shot up in May. That was terrible. I said a prayer that morning for Sean, and it wasn't religious. I don't know if that's for Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Carter, Big Sean, or another Sean that we may not know. I'm thinking out loud. Sean also might be the guy that was doing security, the guy that got shot. That's probably the most likely thing. I wonder, maybe we got to look up his name. But more likely, he's trying to light up the front gate. It wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean, and it wasn't religious. Maybe the guy, because somebody got hit. So with all respect due to the victim. I'm not 100% sure, though. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping was over for now. It came like a sudden decision. I don't give a fuck about you snakes or these other musicians. They just started fucking with my family. I'm going to prison, and we all crashing out together. My brother's complicit. Who put the pipe bomb in your trunk? It wasn't Exhibit. I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition, but then I got to remember who made this shit come to fruition. Look, besides the kind of tough guy talk, the fantasy, this the mafioso talk, the mob ties talk, putting bombs in cars and stuff like that. That's the fantasy, that's the visualization of it. But the bar is actually crazy. The pipe bomb in your trunk, it wasn't Exhibit. Pimp your ride. I'm trying to blow the doors off this bitch when you touch the ignition. That keeping that same scheme. Remember the scheme I was talking about in the beginning: prison, complicit, Exhibit, ignition. but talking about the car, you're still keeping it in like a car scheme at the same time. I think that's just dope as some MC shit. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations, boy. I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumbles over judges' convictions. This is to pull the rabbit out the hat, and y'all love a musician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing, hugging, and kissing. What are we celebrating? I rent out the club in addition. Nothing was the same with all of you bitches and nothing's forgiven. So, again, I think it's a list. I think if this joint is indeed called Fighting Irish, Braun is maybe at the square of it, but there's a list. I think DeMar DeRozan, I think he was disappointed by seeing a bunch of people rejoicing, hugging, and kissing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as he paints it. But, there was a victory lap. Again, it was a great moment. If you're a hip-hop fan, it's a great moment. I could say that. I don't have a relationship with him, so my expectation isn't to pick a side. The way that maybe he thought Braun shouldn't have been out there like that publicly. DeMar shouldn't have been out there like that publicly. This is the way he feels. I'm not casting judgment on DeMar or LeBron. But this is from Drake's perspective, the disappointment of seeing this record that is really kind of putting you in the dirt for the moment, at least, if not career damaging for ever or for a long time, and seeing people rejoice and party to it. That's gotta hurt. But the next time bury me in gold, my blood is Egyptian. Again, he's talking about, okay, if you're gonna bury me in gold, I'm still a king. So it's like, even in his L, he's not gonna admit defeat, right? He's still, hey man, I'm still a king. Bury me in gold, my blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James comes out when the vodka's flooded my system. That's his pops. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits, and I got my mother's permission. That's a response to Meet the Grams when Kendrick said that Drake had a gambling and drinking addiction and painted him as a degenerate. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that. So there it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the joint. Look, man, this ain't gonna change nothing. This don't change the tide, but I think this record was necessary. Hopefully we get a DSP version of it. I think it was necessary because it's like, where do we go from here? How do we move on? I think this as a response or just the next chapter of where Drake is in his life falls into line with a lot of the joints that he's given us in the past, the timestamp joints like Fear, joints like again, for me as a fan, these are the joints that made me a Drake fan for real. And more so than, I think this is a better move. That, this gets us closer, or to me, this gets Drake closer to, okay, moving on, putting this behind him, than Wagwan Delilah, than the BBL Drizzy joint, which I wasn't too mad at, or the Chino Pacas joint, or the memes, or the trolling on the streams and stuff like that. Like, this is his superpower right here. This is part of his superpower. So, and I think at this point, it's like you playing to your superpower. Now, there's still going to be a victory lap. There's still the Grammys. There's still the Super Bowl. There's still the GNX tour. There's going to be plenty of Kendrick next year. But, I think, or at least what I want to see from Drake as he moves on and figures out what the next phase of his career is going to be and what's the next moves, is joints like this. It's the honesty. It's the earnest. It's the openness. And even if he's not taking full accountability, you know what I'm saying? Because he may not even feel that. He may still feel like hey, man, I ain't lose. Hey, man, they cheated. Hey, man, everybody's against me. Like, those might be, that might be his honest feelings. It's cool. I'd rather hear that than the trolling. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated this for what it was, and hopefully it comes out for real, and we get to hear it and sit with it. Hopefully there's a recorded version. But those are just my thoughts, man. Let me know. Hit me in the comments, like, subscribe, do all of that. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. All right. Till the next time. Peace.